I had planned to create a video demonstrating various glucose graphs, showcasing how different foods and combinations of food influence your blood sugar curve. I'm glad I didn't. Why? Because these graphs don't matter unless you are diabetic or have another metabolic disorder. Keep watching to learn more. In today's video, reviewing the glucose goddesses hacks to keep your blood glucose levels from spiking, the pros and cons. Are spikes in blood glucose levels really a bad thing? What about glycation? What it is, why it matters, and how to reduce your intake of advanced glycation end products, AGEs? Is it the cause of premature aging? Do I recommend using a continuous glucose monitor? Sharing my own experience with using the monitor. And finally, I'm not mean, I will share some graphs with you. Initially, I found the glucose goddesses hacks to be good information. After all, I'm all about a low glycemic diet, aren't I? However, after a while, I began to have doubts and felt uncomfortable every time I saw her posts. Something just seemed off, but I thought that maybe I wasn't educated enough to take a stand, I'm not a scientist, or that I was missing something important. Then I saw holistic medical professionals and scientists whom I trust, for example the brain doctors 𝐀𝐟𝐟𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐚𝐭𝐞, speak up, and it was such a relief that I wasn't imagining things. Before we move on, let me remind you what the hacks are. Eat food in the following order: fiber, protein, fats, and then carbs. Move after a meal. Drink 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with a glass of water before or after meals. Eat savory breakfast. Don't snack on sweet foods. So what are the benefits of those hacks? They encourage people to eat more veggies. If you eat veggies before everything else, you'll consume less calories as the veggie fiber fills you up. You'll most probably also eat less during the next meal. At least this is what the science says. Anyway, that's a legit advice to follow. It also checks out that if you pair carbs, like whole fruit and starches, with fat and protein, your blood glucose levels won't rise as fast and as high. However, this is only important if it's something you want to do. Nothing will happen to you if you eat a whole fruit on its own, unless you have some kind of metabolic disorder. Next, low sugar breakfast is also a great idea. That is, avoid processed carbs and sugars. This will set your mood and keep cravings at bay for the rest of the day. Moving after a meal is excellent advice as well, as you'll use up the glucose that's just entered your bloodstream. However, at some point last year, I started to feel uncomfortable with all of it. Here are the reasons. Hyper-focusing on only one indicator for better health, in this case your blood glucose levels. It seems reductionist. These hacks have become so popular among the masses because people love to hear good news about their bad habits. More precisely, she's saying that you can keep eating the same junk that made you sick as long as you eat some veggies first. This can be harmful advice. Let's move on to vinegar. There is a study that she also refers to that found that vinegar doesn't appear to help glucose levels when taken with a low glycemic meal. Therefore, if you eat a whole food plant-based diet, it doesn't have a significant effect. What's more, drinking ACV before you eat a donut will not make it a healthy food or somehow eliminate the adverse effects of eating junk food. You can keep drinking it for the other benefits though. Lastly, she talks about glycation being a harmful process that accelerates aging. Do you find this video useful so far? If so, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more interesting content, including recipe videos. Alright, let's talk about glycation. So here's the deal. Glycation happens when proteins and fats combine with sugars in your body, forming harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. So, as much as I understand, no matter what or in which order you eat, there's glycation. as all foods consist of fat, protein, and carbs unless you are eating processed food. Notice, glycation itself is not harmful, as far as I understand, but the end products are. These AGEs can also form in foods through grilling and frying. The thing is, AGEs are particularly high in animal foods that are high in fat and protein, such as meat, especially red meats, which are prone to AGE formation through cooking. Sugary foods and highly processed and pre-packaged products also tend to be high in AGEs. Cooking methods that use high temperatures to brown or char food, such as grilling, roasting, and broiling, have the largest impact on the amount of AGEs consumed. The good news is, our bodies naturally rid themselves of harmful AGEs, but it doesn't eliminate them effectively when too many are ingested through food. However, there are ways to reduce your intake. For example, instead of using dry, high heat for cooking, try stewing, poaching, boiling, and steaming. Additionally, natural antioxidants such as vitamin C and quercetin have been shown to hinder AGE formation. You can find these antioxidants in many foods, including colorful fruits, vegetables, herbs, and spices. Curcumin, found in turmeric, and resveratrol, found in dark fruits like grapes, blueberries, and raspberries, are also thought to help prevent AGE formation. Lastly, regular exercise and an active lifestyle have been shown to help as well. So if you're concerned about the effects of AGEs, try incorporating these tips into your lifestyle. Let's talk about those spikes then. Are they harmful? If you're not diabetic and eat whole plant foods, let's say fruits like mango or melon, that contain it all, carbohydrates, fiber, protein, and fat, and your blood sugar goes higher, is it bad? The rise in blood sugar that follows eating is normal, expected, and desirable. We eat for energy. Our bodies feed on glucose, especially the brain. You eat and the blood glucose goes up. This is what is supposed to happen. Your pancreas then releases insulin in response, and all is well. The glucose gets transported to fuel your cells. It only becomes a problem if you have insulin resistance, that is, the insulin receptor doesn't work, but this is another topic entirely. I'm talking about healthy individuals. Besides, worldwide, populations with the highest consumption of carbohydrates are the trimmest and fittest. In the light of all that's been said, do I recommend wearing a continuous glucose monitor? It depends on what your reasons are. If you are a healthy individual eating a whole food plant-based, low glycemic diet and don't have diabetes, then there's really no need for the monitor. However, if you're simply curious to see how different foods and combinations affect your blood sugar, or you have a health condition that affects your blood sugar levels, then continuous glucose monitor could be useful. Some health conditions affect your blood sugar curve as well. So while you are on your healing path, a continuous glucose monitor can help you manage your energy levels better by preventing potential crashes. If you're interested, there's a link for the app I used in the description. Now about my own experience wearing the monitor for 4 weeks. I made the mistake of obsessively checking my readings during the first 2 weeks, and it made me crazy. As soon as I saw my blood sugar level climbing too high, I would take preventive measures like moving my body or to bring it down. While this approach worked, I failed to see what my blood sugar normally did when I ate and moved in my usual way. So, during the second 2 weeks, I took the more relaxed approach and only checked my readings once or twice per day. I'd recommend this approach unless you are experiencing symptoms that could be affected by low or high blood sugar. And for those of you who love graphs, I have a few to show you. This is how movement uses up blood glucose. Here's how a high-protein tofu bowl doesn't cause a significant rise. This is a comparison of starches eaten on the same day of cooking versus the next day. It's the doing of resistant starch. Here's what happened when I drank kombucha on an empty stomach. And this is how oat milk matcha doesn't cause a spike when I used half a cup of barista oat milk. So here you have it. Blood sugar spikes are normal and not harmful for healthy individuals without insulin resistance. Continuous glucose monitors can be useful for some people, but don't obsess over your readings. And remember, a balanced, whole food, plant-based diet is nothing to worry about in terms of blood sugar spikes. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.